so I have a lot of experience training guys, and the thing was, at Larry's, I was the enforcer at Larry's school. Like, I would teach guys, you know, Glenn was the main trainer, I would fine-tune them, or I'd take the young guys when he wasn't there. But I was the fine-tuner, and I was also the enforcer. Like, if someone, because you get students in schools, they get big heads real quick, they don't want to pay, and they keep showing up. And especially if you're in the school, with the, you know, you're in a business. You know, back then, Larry didn't have the contracts. All right, you sign up, you have this amount of time to pay, whether you're thrown out, you quit or not. Once you sign this contract, you're obligated to pay it. We're going to have those kinds. You join our school, you're paying your money, okay? Whether we kick you up and beat you up and just teach you a lesson, or whether you quit, you're obligated to pay the money. This isn't a game. This is not a game. This is our business. This is how we're going to make money. This is the new day, you know. So,
it has to be. Larry
would come up to me every now and then and say, that kid, I don't want him here anymore. Get him. Oh, shit. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, don't worry about it.
Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. Follow the thing. Oh. So 5 minutes later, of course, there'd either be an ambulance. I'm serious. There'd either be an ambulance to get this kid, or he'd walk out crying, and that would be it. And we wouldn't see him again. So at our school, there's not going to be a lot. That's why, like, when I was like, I want to call it Stretch You, Candy was like, no, people are going to think we're stretching. I'm like, no, it's just a cute name. He goes, but you're going to stretch guys. I'm like, no, I'm going to stretch guys who don't listen. Just like it was done now. I go, what do you want to do? You want to coddle these kids? I go, what happened to us?
Anyway. We're here on Wrestling Talk in the studio, post No Mercy.
Yes.
And we have a lot to talk about, but first, we want to get to our special
guest.
How
about first you talk a little bit about No Mercy, since I don't watch professional wrestling at all anymore. Let me find out what's
we're going to save that for later, because our guest on the phone, Reviewer Unknown, is waiting for us to call in about
different angles.
Sounds good.
So, and plus, we don't want to keep you waiting, because you're live.
Sounds good. I'm live. I'm live.
Information can come second.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
Now, former ECW star, you don't mind that moniker?
No,
you don't mind that at all?
Not at all. I put most of my life into that company. Why would I mind it? No, not at all.
Have you made any contact or overtures, or have they, between you and the WWE?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was some stuff that, when that invasion angle was going on, I was discussing with Paulie and a couple other people out there. I don't want to mention names because I don't want to jinx anything. I also don't want to ruin stuff in the future, but they were negotiating to bring me in at a certain angle, and all I had to do was just, you know, keep doing what I was doing, because I had changed a lot. You know, when I was first in ECW, I knew I was a maniac and in and out of the ring, and I started to really calm that down because I knew I was killing myself. And I was in Maryland, and I was wrestling Rob Van Dam, and there's a rule in Maryland, I don't know if you guys know this, with the commission, you're not allowed to introduce any kind of blood into the ring. So if you get busted open, even if it's a hard way, you have to leave. Now I'm in the main event, but Rob, I'm like 10 minutes in, I'm outside, I do something, wham, and a cut from last week just, and I didn't know it until I got back in the ring.
That's your stock and trade,
well,
I mean.
But yeah, but I didn't know it if I got back in the ring, and I'm not going to stop the match. There's 2,000 people that paid to see me and Rob wrestle live. They've never seen it in Maryland.
Didn't do it on purpose?
No, not at all. So I see the commissioner flipping out, and I'm like, all right, he'll come and stop it, but you know what? All right, I don't want this match to end. So I'm like, look at the ref, and Rob's like, Jesus. So we just paused the match, and I got some towels back from the locker room, and I'm trying to close it up, and I'm waiting for the guy to come down and stop it. He goes, you get out, you get out. And I'm like, no, you come down here. And he's like, no. I'm like, no? Yeah, fine, let's go. And then we just started going. I'm like, and he gets on, I'm like, hit me in the cut. He goes, what? I go, and I just grabbed him by the head and went, boom, and he went, ow, and I just started flowing again. But when I got back in the locker room, the commissioner, and I'll say this, the guy, Pat Pinella, he was the guy who ran it. He said, hi, Pat, how you doing? He got in the back, and he starts doing this to me. Now, you guys know me. You don't do that to me. You know, when fans have hit me before, and they know better now. You know, and this guy says, you son of a, you know, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm so, you know, I just wrestled Van Dam 40 minutes. I ain't got energy to beat this guy up. And plus, I'm thinking, you know, all right, this is WWF. He goes, you're done for life, I swear. So, of course, you know, Wednesday I get the phone call from WWF. What did you do? I'm like, well, you know, I got busted open. This guy threatened to suspend me for life. He can't do that. He goes, you didn't choke him. I'm like, no, I didn't choke him. I just wrestled Rob. How am I going to choke him? I'm sorry. He goes, well, when you get that cleared up, give us a call, because now there's no spot for you.
Because of that?
Oh yeah. Well, that's when Right to Censor got shut down too, because all the parents groups. So after that, how are they going to bring a guy in with my reputation anyway, who's been good, who just got supposedly banned for life in Maryland, had the guy by the throat? So basically, what ended up happening, they said when I went to the meeting, I actually had and I was actually up for a lifetime suspension of Maryland and a $10,000 fine. I got no fine and a 7th month revocation of my license, so it was good in January.
So it's straightened out.
Right. So then in January, when I got back in contact with the Titan, they were like, "Well, we saw you in Queens. We had someone see you in Queens back in December. You looked awesome as far as work, but your body looked like crap." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you told me not to worry about my body." So we don't have to worry. I was asking, do you want me to start lifting or something, training? My body feels a lot better. I could probably do it. And they're like, well, that was that. I'm like, oh. You know what? You want that kind of look? Fine, you got it. I'll call you in 6 months, and click. And I hung up. And then I just went out and joined the gym and started dieting hard. And I was 370 pounds right then.
You
what are you
look
down
in
to
great
now?
shape now.
275.
Excellent.
I have never been
Wow.
this low since I've been wrestling full time. Ever.
What is your secret for those fans out there who want to lose weight and get into good shape?
Just training every day. Even if you come off the road and you're tired and you don't want to go to the gym, you go to the gym and you work out. You cut out, just diet, training.
What do you eat, or what don't you eat?
What don't I eat? I don't eat pasta. I don't eat pasta anymore.
How about bread?
No bread.
No bread.
A little bit of bread. A lot of salads. So a lot of salads with like chicken
failed.
breast and tuna.
I don't like salad.
A lot of seafood, canned tuna fish.
Yeah.
2-3 salads a day, raw salads. I haven't been doing that the last couple months, just because I had a big change in my life and I've been kind of depressed. But actually, I'm doing so much better. Actually, I've been better. It's just the shock of everything. So I stopped dieting, and I put on no weight. I can't put weight on now. I'm putting it on up here. I'm getting, this is all solid and everything, but I can't put weight on. I was 270 when I stopped dieting. I'm 275 now, and that's 2 months later. So I'm like, okay, so I'm just not dieting for now, because I dieted straight from January till August. I mean, I didn't go off it. I didn't.
Right.
I love ice cream. I love it. I don't like. You know what? I don't. This is the thing. I don't
Frozen
like
yogurt.
Nah,
No?
come on. No, look. See, now, when you go to like bodybuilders, like you see bodybuilders, they have these protein bars, they all have
Yeah.
chocolate this, peanut butter that. You know
Yeah.
why? Because bodybuilders are inherently junk food addicts. I'm not. When I was fat, it wasn't because I was sitting around eating candy bars. I was just in a lot of pain, and I was depressed a lot of the time because my, ECW went under.
Yeah.
My whole life was revolved around that company. I thought it was going to take off more than what it did. And, you go through depression there. And plus, my home life wasn't so good. And,
Yeah. Two questions about now, when you take off that much weight,
yes.
as a wrestler, does it change the type of opponents that promoters put you with?
Actually, promoters got shocked. They didn't know what to do. Because as I was losing the weight and my body started getting better, and I started trying to get away, not so much from blood itself, but from like the thumbtacks and the barbed wire and, just so much of that stupid stuff.
That's a tough way.
Yeah, well, it's not that it jacks your neck up, because, I do have the broken neck. It's not like it does stuff like that, but, it's not wrestling,
Right.
That's not pro wrestling.
Well, and that leads to my other question. When you weighed more, like Cactus Jack, your style is the bumps and the crazy
No, see,
moves?
no,
Does it
that's
change?
that's where you're wrong. See,
I'm
that's where everyone gets confused, because
Okay.
the only people most remember me is from ECW, because that was my main television,
Yeah.
my main national television coverage. So what they know me as is Balls and Axel, the chair swinging freaks, Balls versus Tanaka, Balls versus Rob Van Dam.
Yeah.
Which everyone was surprised. They're like, oh my God, he can wrestle. But you understand, I've been doing this full time since 1993, 1992. I've been doing this full time. There was no hardcore wrestling in 1992, but yet I made a living at this. So how could I make a living in the professional wrestling world that had no hardcore wrestling
Right.
by wrestling? How can you do that? Because there was none, and people are idiots. I'm sorry, but you are. You're stupid. People must be, not you. I'm talking,
Well, you
it
got
irks me.
look from the point of
That
view of a
irks me.
fan, because
Yeah.
when
Well, they
if
didn't
if only people see you on TV
Right.
and that's all they see,
Right.
what else can they conclude?
Right, exactly, because you got to understand wrestling.
And I plead
most-
guilty to that.
Well, yeah, most wrestling fans have a short attention span. They don't realize I spent, my 6 months in Puerto Rico wrestling for All-Star Wrestling, who was Savinovich's former group. They don't realize I spent 6 weeks for Carlos. They don't realize I spent a year in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. I used to live with Kane, And trust me, Jim Cornette, you did not hit people with weapons. You kept it in the ring. You did not brawl. You wrestled. Well, let's see. I lasted a year there, and I drew a lot of money. I was tagging with Cactus. See, the big difference with me and Cactus would do stuff, And this is no offense to him, because he did open a lot of doors for me. Because, again, he had the body like I did, except that was his body. I always was an athlete who just got dinged up and would take a lot of time off from the gym, because if I couldn't lift right, I just didn't want to do it. You know? I never stood on an apron and went, I'm going to fall on the floor, hit, boom, every night. Because I didn't have to do that to get over. I could work. I knew how to wrestle. You know, I mean, I was an amateur wrestler, very good amateur wrestler. I've been coaching amateur wrestling off and on now for 2 or 3 years with young kids, and I might be coaching my high school this year. I know how to do this. You know, I know how to go out into the ring with nothing and put on a match to get the crowd up. You know, I know how to work.
Well, that's what this show is for, to correct misconceptions.
Exactly. So I'm not mad about that. You know, but see, that's the other thing, though. But when people see me and they see a table come out or a chair and they see me bleeding, they're like, oh my God, you know, they don't remember the cool stuff we did leading up to a table bump. They're like, man, that was great. Balls hit the guy with a chair and then he went through a table. Oh, it was awesome. Well, what else happened? I don't know. You know what I mean? Because they just don't remember.
Human nature.
Right.
You know?
They just, because that's what they remember.
The only time I ever saw you live was when you fought Jamie Payne.
Oh, geez, yeah.
That was a pretty bloody match.
Jamie, and actually, when he was in Wakefield, I have to admit this was one thing that stood out for me. That I'm not even sure if you wrestled that night. You delivered a chair shot to one of the indie wrestlers over there. It was the hardest chair shot I've ever seen or heard in my entire life.
Well, that was my gimmick. You know, ball swings the hardest chair in wrestling, and that was true because
isn't that the truth?
I was a pro wrestler. I did not know how to hit people with weapons. I was never trained to do that. When you hit people with a chair, you know, the one night Paulie's like, look, you got to hit Sandman. I'm like, all right, and he's caning me. I'm like, I'm gonna kill you.
So if WWE comes a calling, you could change your whole style as far as people know, and return to a form of wrestling that you did before ECW.
See, that's the thing. The wrestling I've been doing since ECW stopped, I don't go out and go, okay, where's the thumbtacks, you know? I don't do that. People just don't realize. Yeah, when you see me wrestle Jamie Payne, there's nothing, I mean, no offense to Jamie. Jamie's a brawler, you know, so you do the brawl match, and that's what I got hired to do.
Right.
But 90% of the matches I do aren't just those matches, you know? If they call me up and tell me, I'm just going to go in and do what I always do. Go in, tie up, do some stuff, you know? I mean, all my matches are wrestling matches. It's just, to do a hardcore match, you see, that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand how to do hardcore either. To do a hardcore match doesn't mean you go out right away to get a trash can and hit the guy in the head with it.
Right,
what are they going to do from there?
Which is what a lot of hardcore matches in WWE
We've talked about
and
this
others,
many
that's what they're doing these days.
And not even WWE, but others. And I don't even consider a lot of these guys hardcore. I consider a lot of these guys idiots, to be honest with you. You're all a bunch of idiots. I really want to use stronger language. I don't want to get them in trouble. You've never been trained by anybody who knows what they're doing in the business. How many people can you say that are wrestling independents now have been trained by someone who made a living in this business? None of them. Maybe 10% of all, I'm talking indie wrestlers now, 10% of all indie wrestlers have been trained by someone who's made a living in this business. Let me tell you something, guy. All you trainers out there, if you never made a living in this business as a worker, you have no business teaching young kids how to wrestle. Get out. And we remedied that in New Jersey. We just got a hold of the ECW ring. We got a building. It's up. It's starting to run. Chris Candido, myself, Bam Bam Bigelow's going to be one of our guest trainers a lot because he lives in the area. So let's see.
You're a promoter now.
I'm not a promoter.
You're not a promoter. Okay, so wrestling school.
What's the name of the school?
We don't have a name yet. I want to call it Stretch University so we can get cool. That's my idea. I want Stretch You. Can you imagine? You had Funk You?
Yeah.
Stretch You. You know, what do you think?
Right.
I stretch you, jabroni. Put you in the camel cut. Stretch you like a jabroni you are. You know, that'd be so cool T-shirts. You know, stretch you. You got a guy like this. You know.
The Iron Sheik's here now.
I like that.
Iron Sheik is everywhere, jabroni. Look at you in a crippled jabroni. Fall off roof. I know fall off roof. Get up to the crowd, drink a beer, have some medicine. You know, Sheik love the medicine, brother. You know the Sheik, former champion, the hacksaw Jim Duggan, but we don't talk about that right now.
You do a lot of imitations, don't you?
Yeah. I have some fun with him. Sheik's one of my best, though, so I don't know. There's a lot of
Where's
guys.
he right now?
Just every. I'll tell you what, if I ever win a lottery, who's an independent guy, I guess, years ago, won like one of them crazy $50 million lotteries. If I win a lottery, every independent show I go to, I'm out of my pocket. I'll pay him a couple $100. He ain't working. I just want him with me. I'm bringing the Sheik everywhere. With me, just to entertain
I'm sure he'll go for that.
Oh, well, that's my best friend. Now, I swear this is what he says to me. This is my best friend. Look, right here, Chris Bambino, Tammy Sonny, Big Ball, not balls, ball. Big Ball Mahoney, my best friend, 35 years. We go, Sheik. I'm 30, Sheik. Oh, shut up, I know how old you are. I'm telling the people how close we are. Look, the Tammy Sonny not 30. No, Sheik, I'm 27. Shut up. I don't need this, you know what I'm saying. I mean, he's great.
Must be a trip to be with him on the road.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you want to talk, here you go. We did a thing, Michigan Championship Wrestling. This wasn't too long ago. Listen to this bus trip. Candido, myself, Tammy, Sandman, Iron Sheik. Who else? Jeez. Ricky and Robert, Kevin Sullivan. We talk about fun. I stopped at the liquor store and got, you can laugh at me, I got a huge bottle of Kahlua, a huge bottle of vodka, and some seltzer water, make mind erasers. I don't know if you guys know what they are. It's like New Jersey drink. You suck them up real quick. So we made Sheik one. He goes, oh, I don't know. He starts, no, Sheik, you don't mix it up. Okay, so drink fast. That's it, Bubba. That's the thing. I say. Next thing you know, we're all tanked in this bus, just listening to Sheik stories, having a blast. You know, I one time, Olympic time, I had wrestling in the East Tennessee promotion. What was that called back then? I don't know. Continental Wrestling. And the jabroni hits me in the face. I say, you dumb jabroni. I'm Olympic champion. I take him like this, drop him on head. Now jabroni cleaning cars somewhere. Sheik former champion. You know, it's just like,
wow.
What are you talking about? And there's some other things I could say to make you laugh, but I like the Sheik, and I'm not going to expose him too much.
Tell us a little bit more about the school.
Well, here's the thing. I'm up here for a week. I just saw Chris last night in the gym right before I left. And he's like, the ring's up. Everything's painted. So he goes, oh, that's right. You're not going to be here this week. I'm like, no. He goes, so Monday, get in there. We'll start getting everything together. Because I got like 4 or 5 kids that are ready to join. We don't have a phone number yet in the school. I mean, we're just barely, we're on the bare minimum right now. But we do have the ECW pay-per-view ring. That's our training ring. It's the best ring in the business.
Wow.
You know, it really was. You've heard that before, you know, from other people. That's our training ring. So you're not going to get hurt. But if anybody's interested, I don't have a phone number to give you yet. It's located in Belmar, New Jersey. It's $3 grand. There are payment plans, and I'm trying to think.
You have a website?
Not yet. I mean, literally, we just got the ring set up for the building.
Oh, you keep us posted.
Oh yeah. I'm sure. You know, the director will. You know.
Absolutely.
Being the director,
definitely forward that on.
Yeah, we'll definitely. We're pretty close there, aren't we, director? We're pretty close there. Hi, honey. So you know, we'll have information.
Now, when a person comes in, and they say, I want to be a professional wrestler, and you look at them and they're, let's say they're in pretty decent shape, but they're 175 pounds or 180 pounds. Okay. Do you tend to say, you know what, maybe this is not for you? Do you give them a tryout?
Not anymore. Look at the WWF roster now. Look at Jeff and Matt Hardy.
Right.
They're like $150 dripping wet, you know? I mean, I don't know for sure, but I mean, they're not big guys. They're not over 200 pounds, you know? And you got to think of this, you know, like, all right, here's a good example. You know, like when I started, you guys know I started when I was 12. You know, me and Candido grew up together. I've been, when I was 92, when I started back at the Monster Factory, I was, you know, 91 actually, when I started back training at the Monster Factory. Yeah. I was his trainer in 92, you know? Me and Glenn Ruth, so I've already, you know, D'Lo Brown is one of my proteges. I was one of the original trainers of Paul White. Jesus. And then one of the headbangers, Chaz, not Glenn Ruth, Chaz, the other one.
Yeah.
God, I could just keep...
Larry stole my phrase, you know.
Which one?
Stay in the ring.
Keep it in the ring.
He says keep it, oh, he changed it now.
Stay in the ring, John, you fat bastard. Keep it in the ring.
Editing.
Edit. I'm sorry.
I shouldn't have mentioned it.
All right, but anyway,
Walls Mahoney was just scolded by the director. I can't believe it.
Note the time. Write it down for me, please.
She's going to spank me later.
Oh, that might be, it could be a good thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I hope they didn't hear that. But no, so I have a lot of experience training guys. And the thing was, at Larry's, I was the enforcer at Larry's school. Like, I would teach guys, you know, Glenn was the main trainer. I would fine tune them, or I'd take the young guys when he wasn't there. But I was the fine tuner, and I was also the enforcer. Like, if someone, because you get students in schools, they get big heads real quick, they don't want to pay, and they keep showing up. And especially if you're in the school, with the, you know, you're in a business. You know, back then, Larry didn't have the contracts. All right, you sign up, you have this amount of time to pay, whether you're thrown out, you quit or not. Once you sign this contract, you're obligated to pay it. We're going to have those. You join our school, you're paying your money, okay? Whether we kick you up and beat you up and just
Right.
teach you a lesson, or whether you quit, you're obligated to pay the money. This isn't a game. This is not a
Absolutely.
game. This is our business. This is how we're going to make money. This is the new day, you know. So
It has to be.
Larry would come up to me every now and then and say, "That kid, I don't want him here anymore. Get him." Oh shit. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, don't worry about it.
Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Follow the thing. Oh. So 5 minutes later, of course, there'd either be an ambulance. I'm serious. There'd either be an ambulance to get this kid, or he'd walk out crying, and that would be it. And we wouldn't see him again. So at our school, there's not going to be a lot. That's why, like, when I was like, I want to call it Stretch U, Candy was like, no, people are going to think we're stretching. I'm like, no, it's just a cute name. He goes, but you're going to stretch guys. I'm like, no, I'm going to stretch guys who don't listen. Just like it was done now. I go, what do you want to do? You want to coddle these kids? I go, what happened to us? Remember when we were 12, Chuck used to beat the living out of us, you know? I mean, he really did. That's not how you get it. Oh, God, he'd hook us. And there's nothing you can do, you know? You're like 12 years old. You got this big man, you know, smokes Camels every day. Come here, you know? And we used to, you know, we learned the hard way, you know? And
Sounds like the Heart's basement.
I was just going to say.
and
like
except we didn't have
Stuart
a
Hart.
basement. We were going from town to town to town, setting up these rings for promoters and the ring crews,
Right.
just to be able to get in the ring to train. You know, that's how we got our first matches. We were 15, threw on hoods, went out and wrestled. You know, illegally, very illegally. We're out there. Hey, you want to do first match? Yeah, we'll put the hoods on. So we put the hoods on. And then, you know, the music would play, and we'd go out, do a quick 10, and you'd see the commissioner, who are these guys? Oh, and we'd hop over the guardrail, run out of the building, go into the ring truck, get that off, put our security, you know, little polo shirts and jeans back on, and come walk out. Oh, we looked for them guys, man. We chased them, we couldn't find them. Oh, good job, kids, all right. You know, and they didn't know that was us doing the first match, you know. And then we'd, you know, do that and then tear the ring down every night. But these kids, what I would tell a kid straight out, and since it's a business, I'll be like, look, if you really want to do this is your dream, I'll take your money, and I'll teach you the best I can. But if you want to make it, that's not up to me. You know, I can teach you everything I know. We can teach you everything we know. We can teach you how to act. But ultimately, making it is not up to us. It's up to you. Because I still believe, I'm not one of these guys, I'm really not one of these people who say, look, if you're 6'5", and 270 and jacked, that you're going to make it in the wrestling business. You might make a payday, but I still am not one of these people that says you're just definitely going to make it in the wrestling business or you're definitely not. I think it's been proven more often than not, the harder you work in this business and the more you learn, and if you ever stop learning, you might as well get out, you can make it. I really firmly believe that. I didn't believe that too long ago. I was really depressed about a lot of stuff in the business, but you know what? It's.
What turned you around?
I started getting into shape. You know what really got me into shape? Because I turned on the TV, I saw Brock Lesnar with Heyman, and I went, oh, so that's what they want. They want some green rookie guy who knows nothing. No offense to him, because I'm sure he's going to develop, but I mean, come on. I mean, and then I hear people, yeah, they're going to hire Goldberg. No, they're not. That is Goldberg. What's wrong with you? They need their own Goldberg. Albeit, he's a shooter. I mean, I'll give it up for Brock. I'll give it up for Brock because being an amateur wrestler, brother's NCAA division champion. Hey, good deal. You know, he's in shape. That don't mean he's a good pro wrestler. But look at the push he's getting. That got me mad.
What'd I
and
tell
I cut
you?
a picture out.
What'd I tell you?
Oh yeah, I cut a picture out of him. Put it in like a little gimmick there. So any day I was feeling like I don't want to go to the gym, no, I'd go to the gym. Look at Brock. I'd go to the
So he
gym.
inspired you in
Got me mad.
reverse.
Well, he got me mad. Not
Yeah.
him, because I have no heat against him.
Yeah, I
the
understand.
office got me mad.
Sure.
All right, now we're talking about Brock Lesnar. He's the WWE champion.
I gotta say.
Like yourself, you've paid your dues in the world of professional wrestling. Now you look at the new promotion going on, and this new gimmick going on with Tough Enough.
Yeah.
Tough Enough 3.
Yeah, I
You
was just
familiar
going to
with
ask
that?
about that.
Now think about this.
Those kids are lucky I don't got a hold of them.
I rest my case.
How about, are you familiar with Chris Nowinski?
Chris Harvard?
Chris Harvard.
I've seen him.
We had him right here
I've
on
seen
the
him.
show.
I've seen him.
He was on the Independents for a while after he came in second on Tough Enough.
But they
and now
they
he's
ended up picking him up.
They ended up-
exactly.
They ended up picking him
he
up.
came in second, and now I think he's a lot more popular than
well,
Maven.
my question to you
There's
is,
a couple kids that are on the Jersey Independents too,
Yeah.
and the Independents I've seen that did not win Tough Enough. Who are, and you know what? This is the thing. they're still trying. They're working in these. They're going, and you know what? They knew they weren't tough enough. They didn't win. And there was one kid I saw. I was like, yeah, I was on tough enough. And I'm like, okay, good. I'm like, so where are you training now? I ain't training anywhere. I'm like, nice knowing you.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, what do you mean by that? I'm like, you really do not want to be taking that tone of voice with me. Get out. And then, of course, he's like, huh? And everyone's like, I walked away, and everyone like kind of told him, like, look, he's gonna kill you. Wow. He's not gonna hurt you. He's gonna hurt. He's not gonna hurt you. He's gonna cripple you. Go. You know what I mean? So he kind of came up to me and apologized. I'm like, look, you got the wrong attitude. And then I met a couple other kids. I can't remember. Taylor. Is that a girl or is that a guy? From 1 or 2? I'm not sure.
Taylor, I believe, was a girl.
Taylor. I met Taylor, and I met another one. I can't think. It was a guy, though. I worked the Jersey All-Pro show, and Taylor was training. She went, joined a school. The other kid went and joined a school. They joined decent schools because they knew this is what they want. They had a chase. They didn't get the contract, but this is what they wanted to do. So what are they doing? They're doing what anybody else would. They're joining the school. They're paying their dues. They're out there working for no money, just like any other rookie. And you know what? I respect the hell out of them for it.
Absolutely.
You know?
Have you ever met one of those rookie wrestlers who had the wrong attitude? You threw them out, and then later on they turn themselves around and
Oh, I've had the wrong attitude forever.
You.
Yeah. Well, not the wrong. I haven't had the wrong attitude about the business itself, like how to work, what to do.
Yeah.
You know, all right, you got to put this guy over here. No problem. It's not that. I always had the wrong attitude. I had the F you pay me attitude. Mm-hmm. Even when I was younger. Look, I'm not getting paid. I'm not doing what you want. I'll work. Kiss my ass. Because you got to understand when 2021.
No time.
Yeah, this is real quick. 21 years old, 22 years old. You know, you're not getting money. You're really not getting. Back then, you weren't getting paid nothing. A lot of shows, but them not realizing, hey, as far as rookie dues, they're done. All right, you're paying me. You know, I can go out and work anybody you got. You're gonna pay me. And there's a bunch of people. Mike, who's it? Dino Sana out in Pennsylvania used to run the WWWA. Had Jack Hammer as his champion. I lit into him one night. Bushwhackers got half their money, and I'm like, whoa. And I did filler work, and I told them, I'll show up, but if you put me in there and you don't pay me X, there's gonna be a problem. And their guy handed me $10. I went, yo, that's it. And I went in the room, and it's Dino and this champion, the Jack Hammer, and I basically just, in a nutshell, said, I'm gonna kick your butt, but I'm gonna kick yours for handing me the money. I'm gonna kick yours for defending this guy, and I'm just gonna rip your head off, okay? If I don't have, let's see, I said I wanted X. If I don't have X plus 50 in my hand, you're all dead. And you got 10 minutes, I'll be back. I walked back, 5 minutes later, that guy came out and gave me X plus 100 and said, please leave. I said, thank you, and I left. Obviously, I never worked for him again, but I never had to deal with the Dino Sana and his chopping the Jackahama again. I mean, that's these idiots, they didn't realize.
So there's two things that you have to contend with in this world of professional wrestling, the business side and the wrestling side.
See, as far as the wrestling side with the boys, I'm good.
Yeah.
As far as knowing the business, I'm good. Dealing with promoters, I'm not so good.
I mean, in our limited dealings with independent promoters, we've come across some real winners. I mean, a guy with a gun, and I mean, we have stories. I'm sure.
Of course. And the whole point is you're supposed to learn from that and act humble. I'm sorry, I can't be humble. Not with especially now. This is what I do. This is my job. I've been doing this all my life.
Yeah.
I've been doing this since I was 12 years old. I stopped everything else. I played some football. I wrestled, but it didn't interfere with doing this.
What do you think you'd be doing if there were no such thing as professional wrestling? I might have asked you that before.
Pro football player.
Really?
Yeah. Pro football player or a wrestling coach by now. Olympian. Either one. Because I was that good at wrestling. If I never
a cue.
A cue?
We got the cue.
Is it time for a reviewer unknown?
We got the cue.
We got the cue. We got the cue.
That's what this means.
Hang loose, baby.
Hang loose.
Do we have a reviewer unknown on the line?
That's what it sounds like.
It's almost time to talk about No Mercy, I think.
No Mercy.
Or the Triple H angle.
No Mercy on you, Triple H. No, I can't get into that. I can't get into that. You guys don't know Bruce about that.
Reviewer unknown,
You don't know me.
Yes, and I can thankfully say I don't owe that gentleman any money.
You don't know me. Who are you talking about me there, buddy? No, I'm only kidding.
Reviewer unknown, thanks for joining us.
Well, it's always a pleasure to call in. How you guys doing? How's Ed doing?
Ed's right here in the studio, and he's in the chair, and he looks like he's just
hobbled
can
in,
walk.
thank you.
He can walk right out.
No, I can't walk.
He's doing pretty
Close
good.
enough.
Excellent. Glad to hear it.
Thank you.
Glad to hear it.
Now, we haven't gotten into the topic yet, but we're going to introduce it now. Because we were talking to Balls Mahoney here about ECW and about dealing with independent wrestlers and his wrestling school. And that's just to fill you in, Reviewer Unknown.
Balls Mahoney.
Yes.
Yep.
Popular on the circuit, are you?
Oh, yeah.
I hope so.
Oh, yeah.
I'd hope I'm still popular on the circuit. It's how I'm paying my bills right now.
He was in ECW, if you recall.
Okay.
Now,
What's the time?
you had a lot to say, Reviewer Unknown, about the angle that we saw with Triple H and the funeral parlor.
What's
And
this? Wait.
I don't even think I want to describe it, but I think I'm going to have to for balls right here.
You're going to have to.
Or you can read my article.
Right. Reviewer Unknown posts an article on our website, which I'll have to edit that in later.
What's the angle?
Briefly, there's a feud with Triple H against Kane, where Triple H says that Kane killed this girl in his past, and he's calling him a murderer. And then he says, well, I have some incriminating video to show you, and it's Triple H dressed up as Kane in a funeral parlor.
Yeah. Need we say more?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about where it went. And
Thank you.
It gets worse from there.
Thank you for not making me explain that.
And I don't know if
we really can't go into it.
Yeah, we can't really explain it, especially because I air the show on an educational channel, which I
Well, let's put it this way. I think all the fans at home, they know what we're talking about. They know,
I know what you're saying.
where they're going with this.
I know where you're going.
And the fact is
That's an angle.
That's an angle,
Yeah.
sadly. And that Vince McMahon himself is actually, because a lot of the pro wrestlers in the back were disgusted by it.
All right, they won't bring me in. Sorry, they wouldn't bring me in because I got supposedly banned in Maryland. But then they do a murder angle and a necro. Oh my
Yeah,
God! You know?
yeah.
Oh,
That's right.
Oh, you know what?
Reviewer
I'm
Unknown,
just gonna be quiet.
let's let Reviewer Unknown vent because he can really vent probably as well as you, Ball.
Go, reviewer.
Go ahead, Reviewer.
I don't think I can come close to Ball's reaction right there. I mean, it was pretty much the same thing. Words really can't describe. I think it's pretty much Triple H, who, as everyone knows, is involved with Stephanie right now, and it pretty much, as long as he's with Stephanie, Vince is going to let him keep doing stuff, and you have to wonder what they were thinking when they even considered this angle. It wasn't even a good idea. I mean,
It goes with Kane's gimmick.
yeah, but I mean, they started off the Las Vegas night. It started actually at the end of the Las Vegas night, and I mean, you could just hear the crowd. I mean, you had a great night. You had a great tables, ladders, and chairs match. The crowd was going insane.
That was a hot crowd.
I mean, we're all cheering, and now Triple H comes out there with his belt and the whole water spitting thing. Well, what is that? Who is he? Free Willy? I mean, I don't know what that
He
heck that's
stole
all
that
about.
from me. I was doing that in ECW in '96.
Nice.
6 years ago.
I did not.
Yeah.
So you doing it 6 years? So he's doing it now.
You know
in
what? You know what
62.
else they stole from me? You know what DX stole from me? You know that whole sit thing they did? I was doing that with Big Ball's entrance music in '96. That was what I did. We've got big balls. I've been doing that. They stole that from me too.
That's ridiculous. You know, he's taking
They
all
stole
that.
my T-shirt, Devon's Fish T-shirt. I had one made up 6 months ago. Mine. They just made that a Devon Fish T-shirt.
man.
They stole that.
Oh, boy.
Looks like somebody owes you a little money.
Nah, just give me a job. Go on, reviewer.
So, but you had a great match, and then Triple H comes out, and he's saying, "Oh, you remember Katie Vick? You killed her. You're a murderer." And we all just went, "What?"
And not only that, did you notice the crowd's reaction to that?
Oh, it deflated. It
Complete
killed the night.
Silence.
It killed the audience.
It killed them. This was a hot crowd the whole night. It was
the
an
end of the-
incredible
was it the end
crowd.
of-
It was a great night. I mean, we were.
That's great.
It was
Actually,
a
that's
great
good.
night. It was a night
At least
that
it wasn't
Raw
halfway
needed.
through.
It was a fantastic night, and they just killed themselves. And then
No, you didn't
last
know.
week-
I disagree with that. You just made the crowd go, what?
yeah,
And then ended it.
Right.
That's actually
Well,
pretty
that's
good.
true, that's
That's
true.
actually
The
pretty good.
placement of it was good, but
Yeah.
what it wasn't good.
No.
It just killed it. At that point, you had absolutely. We were ready. We were stoked up to watch the pay-per-view the following week, and all of a sudden you got this stupid little angle, and it killed it. And then last week was what they had, which I won't even describe. I don't even think words can describe the feelings I felt. I was watching with a couple guys who don't offend easily. I mean, they're two disgusting people, and they were offended. And it was just, what were you thinking? If you tell me that, oh, it's for adults, it's not geared towards kids, kids shouldn't be watching this stuff anyways. Well, why the blank do you have toys? You have action figures. You walk into a toy store, you're going to go up and down, you're going to see all the little wrestling action figures. They even advertise for toys during the show. and to show that videotape, which was just, I mean, absolutely reprehensible.
Well, reviewer, you know the old saying, controversy sells.
Controversy sells, but
well, this is what I'm trying to say.
Hey, I understand controversy works well, and with some shows it works, but there are still some things that even a controversial show, you just won't do. I mean, TNN didn't even like the HLA angle. And you're going on to this? Oh, they're going to really love this, right?
Reviewer Unknown, we went to a website where there was an interview with McMahon, and he is for anything that will give him mainstream press. He doesn't care what it is.
I'm sure Balls will back me up on this. He's a man bereft of a soul.
Well, you know what? TNN, I don't get TNN. TNN, when I was on TNN, in a 1 year, 9 times. 9 appearances, 5 matches on TNN. And that whole time we were on there, you know why? They were too scared to put me on television. But they'll do that? That's strange.
Oh,
yeah. I have to wonder.
Also, Heyman, debt, McMahon, millionaire. So, you know.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, McMahon is basically a guy who, and I was talking with a friend of mine, anything that generates money, that generates people to watch. I mean, he did an interview with Sports Illustrated about, I think a month ago, where they were talking with him about the whole Billy Chuck angle and how the ratings were down and stuff. And he said, you know, if we're not drawing people, why is a mainstream sports magazine interviewing me? Well, yeah, okay, that's great. You want to have controversy, but you're going to lose people at the same time. And then to have that, and then of course it didn't go over very well. The response they put out, from what I saw over the website, I'm sure you guys checked it out too, it was just a huge negative backlash on that whole aspect. And then last night, it was just ridiculous. Bringing out the mannequin, which was a guy mannequin,
I know.
in drag.
Reviewer, quick question. Do you know who won the Giant Eagle game last night?
The what?
The New York Giant Philadelphia Eagle game?
I believe the Eagles won.
Ah!
Yeah,
all right.
Looks like you owe somebody some money there, Paul.
No, I'm a Giant fan.
Oh, okay.
All right, sorry, go on.
Other things, Hilliard is out for the season.
Oh, yeah, we lose Hamlin, we lose Hilliard. Ah!
You gonna be okay?
Yeah, I'll be all right.
You need a hug, Paul?
Nah, yeah, I do. The director
It's a good thing you were on.
The director will hug me later, that's okay.
Okay.
It's a good thing you were on Reviewer Unknown, because I know nothing about this stuff.
The Reviewer Unknown tries to help everybody.
Very good. You're just a heck of a guy there.
That's why I'm here.
Reviewer Unknown?
Yes?
What else in wrestling either offends you or turns you on?
I don't know, offends me, but, I mean, that whole angle I think was just ridiculous, and I'm hoping the way everything ended last night that they're putting that to rest and just moving on. I think Bischoff is, with his announcement last night for pay-per-view, they're trying to come up with some stuff. The War Games should be interesting.
Tell Ed and Balls about your feelings on Brock Lesnar.
Oh, he's ridiculous.
Yeah, tell me about it.
The man is bereft of so much, and I've been trying to figure out what it is I don't like.
Yeah, me too.
And I figured it out last week. I was reading an article about Frank Sinatra.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody loves Sinatra.
Okay.
But the thing is, nobody liked Sinatra until 1951.
Right.
Because it was that point that he was down. Ava Gardner had left him. He had lost his voice. His career was literally in the toilet. And it was that point that he started to rehab himself.
What are you talking about? He was singing for Kennedy then.
1951?
1961?
51.
No, 51.
Oh,
51.
Okay, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
1951, he was with Ava Gardner. He had left his wife for Ava. His career was in the toilet.
Before From Here to Eternity.
Right. He did From Here to Eternity, which was sort of a rehab for him. He was able to let that old character die on screen, and he rehabbed, and people liked him. And what happened was the guys liked him, because we like to see somebody work his way up. And I think that's the problem I see with Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar never
He hasn't worked his way up from anywhere.
He hasn't paid any dues.
He's knocked everybody around. He's been totally disrespectful. He's demanding, basically, you have to love me because I have the belt, and it doesn't work. And
who would you put the belt on right now?
I feel like you haven't earned it.
So there's no sympathy level for Brock because he hasn't paid his dues and because
I don't know if he hasn't paid his dues, but
I put the belt on Benoit.
It's the same reason why a lot of people don't like Tiger Woods, because he just keeps winning, and we need to see that. We want to see our heroes knocked around a little bit.
Who do you want to see have the belt?
I don't know if there's really anybody out there that I'd like to see.
Chris Benoit.
Benoit, maybe.
Rob Van Dam.
Rob Van Dam. I like Van Dam. I think
if Rob Van Dam's allowed, hey, if Rob Van Dam, I'll tell you what, I've wrestled the guy over 200 times. He's my favorite opponent. If Rob Van Dam is allowed to do Rob Van Dam's offense, if he's allowed to do his stuff, he ain't gonna have a better chance.
The thing I love about Rob Van Dam, and he's starting to really work on his showmanship now. The whole making fun of everybody else has been great.
Well, he's
a guy who's going to put himself on the line every match.
No, you see, that's because you don't know who he was, man. That guy put himself on the line every night anyway.
I know what I love
made
about
fun
him.
of everybody.
That's what I love about him. The fact that he goes out there.
But he was always like that. They just, you don't understand, when you come into WWF, if Balls Mahoney goes into WWF, Balls Mahoney's coming in so watered down, he's going to be, hi kids, I'm Balls, look, tennis balls, basketballs, baseballs, I'm not coming out, I got big balls. It's not going to happen, man. Because you got to work yourself up to that.
Balls, you missed it. Can I call you Ballsy?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Ballsy, you missed it. I've always liked Van Dam because, in fact, like you said, he puts it on the line. Right. And what I've liked is that he's starting to get that, he's working the persona.
Right.
And he's getting that part. I think in the next few months, I think he's going to develop into something great.
Yeah.
If they continue to work with him, I think he'll be fantastic. Because he's starting now to get that personality. But like I say, I've always liked him because he puts it out on the line. And he gives it all for that fight. And that's the thing that I think we all love about wrestling is that guys like you and stuff, you're putting it out there every night.
Thanks.
You know, you're putting it out, and that's what we want to see. We don't want to see a storyline. We want to see you banging heads and breaking tables over each other.
Who are banging heads and doing the job right now? Let's talk about the tag team division. Who's doing that?
Angle.
Thank you. Angle and who else?
Angle and Benoit. I think
Angle,
it's been a great
Benoit,
matchup.
the Guerreros.
Yeah.
The Guerreros.
Absolutely.
Without them,
even Edge, Rey Mysterio, those guys.
Yeah, that's a fantastic up and coming one. I hope we see a little bit more of that. That's a high octane couple.
Oh, that's for sure.
Now, what do you think?
Ed, the Mysterio is just absolutely
Rey Mysterio?
Fantastic, and to me it seems that he's done some. He's really using his body in a new way, in sort of like a physics class.
I want to ask Balls. Now, you've wrestled Rob Van Dam over 200 times. I keep reading that he's very stiff, and opponents don't like to wrestle him. Why do they say that?
Because it's a timing thing with his chair kicks and his martial art kicks. The first time I wrestled him, I got my bell rung a couple times, but it's practice, you know what I mean? You just got to get used to it. Because it would come down to the point, my last couple matches with him, you know, like, they would do one, like, spin kick with the chair, the Van Daminator. I was taking one in the crowd, one on the outside, then one on the inside, kicking out of the frog splash, missing him with the chair, taking the one he'd jump from the top rope side kick with me in the middle of the ring with the chair. I'd take that, stagger into the corner with Fonzie bringing the chair down in front of my face with him come with the Van Terminator from one side of the ring to the other. Wow. That was what we were doing every night. And I was doing that 4 nights a week, every night. Wow. And I never got hurt on him. Because by that point, I knew what I was doing. It was a timing thing. And that was the thing. That was the point.
Now, the Dudleys had that problem when they first entered the WWF. There was a lot of people that didn't want to wrestle them because they were coming off of the ECW.
And they were scared to death.
Well,
look what they were doing. They were putting me through flaming tables every night. You got to understand, they were wrestling me every night. The Dudleys, for the last 2.5 years in ECW, when they started to become good workers, it was me and Axel, me and Tanaka, me and Spike, me and somebody. It was always me against Bubba and Devon. Right. And yeah, of course it was a stiffer style, but it was a stiffer style because, again, what the people were remembering were the flaming tables, the sick chair shots me and Tanaka and Devon and Bubba were throwing at each other. They didn't remember the spots and the psychology of everything, which they had. They didn't realize that every night for 3 months I was doing a flaming table like a dummy, but they didn't realize that not every night were we doing that we were going out and doing arm drags and tags and, you know, psychology and false tags, you know? Like, all right, perfect case in Sabu. Everybody's nervous about Sabu wrestling Sabu. November 22nd, that's Friday, November 22nd, in the Elks Lodge of Queens, I'm wrestling Sabu in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. Right?
Yeah.
Nobody will book that. No, the promoter, Frank Goodman, USA Pro, he wouldn't book it. It took me months to convince him to do that.
Now, why is that?
Because he's scared to death that one of us is going to die. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
He doesn't want the liability.
You're right. He's scared. He doesn't want the liability. But then I was talking to him. because I just dropped this belt to Bigelow, and it doesn't look like Bigelow's going to be able to make the next show or something like that. So it might be going. That match might be for the belt. I hope it's not for the belt, because I'd like to be on 6, because he runs like 14 match cards. I'd like to be on 6th early for that match and destroy the crowd for everybody, so I can sit there and watch everybody trying to get him back going, ha, you know. But yeah, again, like a lot of people don't want the liability of that. Like WWF does not want Balls Mahoney coming in with his chair. Vince McMahon does not want me coming in with his talent roster and knocking them out and hard weighing them and giving them all concussions, you know. But and that's where the train of thought is with a lot of the stuff and a lot of guys that came out of ECW. Well, we can't let them do that kind of thing because they're going to hurt our guys, and our guys aren't going to want to do it. They're going to get mad. So we try to instill in them: you don't want to do this, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do this. But there's other ways to get over. Just be yourself. Let the guy wrestle. You know what I mean? The thing was, whenever an ECW guy got in the ring anyway there, once they first got hired, and you will know this, reviewer, the place went bananas. No matter who it was. When Tajiri first got in there, they're like, oh, God, ECW. I mean, he'd like smack a guy, and the whole crowd would start chanting ECW, and you had a WCW guy come out there, and there'd be crickets.
Reviewer unknown, one last thing. What did you, if you got it, did you see No Mercy, and what did you think of it?
You know, we had it on, but the funny thing is, the place where I watch it, I posted a column on it. We have 2 TVs where I watch the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And we actually were getting more out of the watching Game 2 of the World Series than the pay-per-view. At one point, we actually were watching the cartoons.
Well, you missed The Undertaker.
Well, no, we did watch it. We had them both on, but there was just. It wasn't really until the big tag team match that we started to really watch it.
Fantastic match.
Do you know that a lot of people have been disappointed with the fact that in the Hell in a Cell match that no human being was thrown off the top?
What do you want?
Well, that's, you know.
Because the Hell in a Cell match is intended to be wrestled inside the cell.
Right.
And the last, 2 or 3 of them, we've seen Rikishi, we've seen Cactus go off the top. Right, and basically, after Cactus going off the top, I wouldn't want to see anybody else.
You know what? I promise everybody something now. You hire me at WWF, you put me in a Hell in a Cell, and I guarantee you, I won't go off the top of that cage. I guarantee you that. I will keep my butt in the cage, bleeding.
Any final words, Reviewer Unknown, before we run along?
Well, just talking with like Ballsy said, the Hell in a Cell, it would have been great to see somebody up on the top and knocking up and down and stuff, but, I mean, that's a hard fall. I mean, Ed, how far was your fall?
It's 30.
That's the same thing.
30 feet, same thing, and you end up with 2 broken legs.
Right.
And a broken arm.
That's the same fall. That's the same fall, give or take 5 feet.
The same fall. As much as you got to, I think something people need to realize is that, you know, as great as these wrestlers are and as much of a beating they can take, there's a point where the body is just going to not take certain things.
And that's not wrestling.
A 30-foot fall is one of them.
Right.
It's not wrestling.
Reviewer Unknown, we're going to run along. I'll make a copy of this tape before I censor it, okay?
All right.
You can have the uncensored copy.
I've been pretty good.
Well,
I've got bleeped once or twice.
I show this on an educational
3
channel,
times.
so, you know.
I'm sorry.
Ballsy, I love you.
I love you too.
In fact, I'm going to get a big T-shirt that says "I love balls."
No, you got to say I love Ballsy.
I love Ballsy.
That was my nickname with Jack Victory. Ballsy. So
I'm not afraid to say. You know, let them have tests. That's all right. They can have their testicles.
Right.
We got balls. I'll talk to you guys later.
Man. Reviewer Unknown.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Before you go, Reviewer Unknown?
I think our reviewer's gone.
He's gone?
He's off the air.
I didn't dismiss him.
No, because I think our
He's been
director's not
dismissed
happy.
by the director.
Reviewer Unknown. Okay, he's gone.
That's it.
All right, that's it. So back to live in the studio. How much time do we have left, Director?
Looks like 10
minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes, that's good. We covered a lot of ground. Now, in the world between Ed and I of wrestling, do we have anything to... I wanted to talk about the book. I was visiting you at your house the other day.
There's a couple of books out.
A couple of books out. You'll love this, Balls. Every title that has ever been won in any federation, an independent or mainstream federation, is in any year is in this book that he has, including our own Tony Rumble, the late great Tony Rumble in Revere.
Lots of very, very small independent promotions that were open in less than a year with their champions listed in it.
And what's the name of this book?
It's called Wrestling's Title Histories.
And where did you find that?
And I found that on the web, actually. And Duncan is the name of one of the authors. I can't recall the other one right now.
Well,
but if you go on Amazon.com and you plug that name in, you'll come up with it. The book was like $36 or $39. Well worth every penny. There's a lot of footwork that went into this.
Unbelievable research went into that.
And what's amazing about it, and what's really good, is say he calls a promoter or however he got his information, and the promoter says, yeah, I had Balls Mahoney as his champion, but we couldn't confirm it with you that you were champion such and such date. It'll say promoters list, meaning that it couldn't be confirmed any other way. It was just his word only. It's a really incredible book, and one that I recommend for anybody who's interested in that sort of thing for research purposes.
Very interesting.
And also is a great tool for this show.
Yep. Yep. Wow. And we found, you know, championship matches that we had witnessed in real tiny places.
Highgate, Vermont.
Highgate, Vermont.
Way up in the corner of Vermont.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
we'll
it was
never
in
forget
there.
That place.
That was the promoter with the gun.
Yes, he'd be the... No, he's not only the promoter with the gun, he's the promoter who was on the run from the law with the gun.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that was a great show.
He's now in jail in Florida.
Yes, he is.
That was too crazy.
Hey, listen, you got to take this home really quick, man, because the cops are coming. I got to pay you guys. In fact, you're not getting paid, I'm leaving.
Fantastic.
And he was so on the run, that guy, he wasn't listed as the promoter. His assistant was listed as the promoter. Yeah. And only his ring name when he was manager was listed.
And I'll never forget, remember, we did the video for that shoot. Yeah. I did the camera for that shoot. Yeah. And he wanted us to wear his promotions T-shirt. So he said, here, kid, I'm assuming it's mine, right? I put it on, I sweat the whole night in it, doing camera work, great camera work and everything else. We go back to his house, he wants to see a little, you know, he wants to see what some of the shoot looks like. He goes, where'd you get that shirt? And I said, well, you gave it to me. He goes, pulls it off my body. He says, you didn't pay for that, that's $10 if you want it. I said,
this is after he said what a great job we did,
after we did a great job, exactly. I mean, it was really strange.
You know, I hate to admit it. Remember, he goes, I hate to admit it, but you guys did a great job. He rips the shirt off.
With the shirt, right? Standing there with no shirt.
Sounds like a Massachusetts promoter I know.
Yeah,
we won't mention.
We won't mention, no.
We won't mention him.
But what was the other book, Ed?
Yeah, what's the other book?
Well, we have Hogan's book coming out for anybody who's interested in that.
And
anybody who's interested in that.
Piper's book.
Rowdy Piper's coming out with a book.
That should be interesting.
Which should
I ordered it, $10.
Maybe I'll order Hogan's book.
It was like 30-something bucks to get the autograph one in advance, you know.
Copy it, sure.
One good tip for people out there, and you'll find this on the Wrestling Talk website. One of my favorite websites is bestbookbuys.com. You'll find, like, it'll compare like 27 different online bookstores. You get the cheapest price.
Wow. Well, if I just had a computer, I'd go on the, because I'm a bookaholic. Cool. Not just wrestling books, I'm a bookaholic.
You are?
As a director, I read all the time.
What kind of stuff do you read?
Fiction, nonfiction, let's see, Love Horror, I have all Stephen King, Dean Koontz, John Sanford, James Patterson. I've even read Danielle Steele. Right now, I was in the airport coming back from St. Louis, and I went to the big rally, the big thing of books. And I'm looking, and I got so depressed, and I started like getting upset because I read every single paperback that they had there. Even the romance ones. Like, I get bored. I pick, on a 3-hour flight, I can read any novel.
Any writer aspirations? Maybe you'll write a book someday.
If I wrote a book, I'd have to get a gun and wall myself up for all the dirt that I could spill. I've got a vault in my head about yay big of stories and incidents. I know where the videotape is. I know where the pictures are.
Sounds like you got something there.
Oh, I'll make a fortune. I just won't be able to enjoy it. You know, I ain't gonna go anywhere. And besides, there's some incrimination. I got to plead the fifth on a lot of stuff too.
Well, maybe you'll have to write it as Wrestler Unknown.
There you go. That'll work.
No, because these stories people know, and
they'll know only they came from you. Only you could have known.
Only I could have wrote it.
Now, I want to ask you, at this point, what is your relationship with Paul Heyman, if any?
I haven't spoken to Paul Heyman since. Actually spoken to him since like I think March of 2000, once the company, or 2001 when the company was bankrupt, and he was like, "Boss, don't worry, I promise you." Here's a good Paulie.
Yeah.
I promise, I'm gonna do everything I can. You're gonna be fine. We'll get you hired. You're gonna have a job. Everybody's gonna get taken care of. It'll be okay. I promise, and you'll be okay. That was about it, and I haven't heard from him since. I mean, I've talked to him. See, this is the thing, though. Me and Paulie never had a phone relationship. I'd talk to him, it'd be 2 minutes. Yeah, I'm busy, I'll call you back in 5 minutes. Well, I'll be here this way. Okay, cool, click. But then we'd be out and hanging out and drinking beer or whatever.
Right.
That was around the time when we met you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I always, that's the thing. Like, that's why, like, me not talking to Paulie on the phone is not a big deal to me, because I never talked to Paulie on the phone. It was always like, you know, like Paulie would be like, he'd call me at like the hotel. Pauls, what are you doing? Oh, nothing. Okay, well, we're gonna blah 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 blah. And I'd be like, all right, click, and you know, me and Paulie goes do something. We're not gonna get into any of that. None of it. And, this is an educational program, and this is some educational stuff, but not for kids. It isn't. But we never had that relationship. We had a very good personal one-on-one relationship, and we had a friend. See, here's the thing: I also had a friendship relationship and a business relationship. I don't hate Paulie. There never would have been a Balls Mahoney without Paulie. You know what I mean? And I never would have had the breaks I had if it wasn't for Paul. But I mean, there's a lot I can say as a businessman. He's a jerk. You know, he didn't know what he was. He just wasn't a good businessman, and you know, people think that makes him a bad person. Well, he did everything he could to try to make that company work, you know, and it just got to the point he had no choice, you know.
Who was the vision behind ECW?
Paulie.
So he was the...
Paulie.
Yeah.
That was his man. Well, you know, it was Eastern Championship Wrestling. Todd Gordon had it, and when Paul, and he had different people doing the book, Eddie Gilbert, and then Paulie came and got the book and ended up taking it over and buying it out. And
he changed it to Extreme.
Changed it to Extreme, and Shane Douglas was responsible for that. And then another guy got involved, Steve Carroll. Nobody likes him, and there's some legalities, I think, going on, so I can't say a lot of things that I know of.
There was another promotion, and I'm going to kill myself if I don't remember the name. It was an Extreme Joel Goodhart. Do you remember that name?
That was TWA. Well, that was the whole beginning of everything. TWA became ECW. TWA was Joel Goodhart's Trans World Alliance, and that was Abdul the Butcher, Kevin Sullivan, all that.
That predated...
That predated ECW. Well, me and Chris used to set rings up for Joel. You know what I mean?
Now, he turned out to be, in my view, a sort of unsavory character. He disappeared.
Yeah, but Joel was a good kid to us. You know, I mean, we were kids when we first knew Joel. We were setting up rings at WCW, and Joel would be like, hey, come on, let's go drink. And he'd get us into the bar. You know?
Paul Fay and I, who started the show, the late Paul Fay, whose jacket that is there, we flew him up here, and we gave him all the names. We had a 500-person fan club at the time. He took the names. We never heard from him again. He was an opportunist.
Yeah, it sounds like Joel.
Very interesting.
But that was how it all started. It went from that to what Todd did, and then...
You live in New Jersey?
Yes.
You ever hear of a show, The Rich Mancuso? You know who that is? Is that name?
You got to do it.
Rich Mancuso, WFAN.
Oh, yeah.
3 in the... You know who that is? What's become of him?
Oh, I don't know. I know what you're talking about, though. I don't know. I don't listen to the radio too much anymore. I don't really watch TV at all. I read, I train, I eat.
I wonder, you know, there's a lot of people that we met doing this show, and they were very present, and now they're gone, you know.
Many, many personalities.
A lot of people.
Yeah. We got about 2 minutes left.
We do.
Less than
2 minutes.
We want to thank you very much, Balls, for coming on the show again.
Thank you.
And we're glad to have you right here.
No problem.
See, sometimes I feel like that when we interview people on location, they're not really on the show.
Right. Yeah.
But this is being on the show.
Right here.
Yeah. Well,
coming right into our studio.
I'll be on again if you'll. I'll be coming up here a lot now, you know.
We've heard a lot of greats in the studio.
Yeah, I do know that, yeah.
So many.
Yeah, Moolah.
So many.
Right?
So many. I can't remember one.
Yeah, I do know. You know, as you said, your director, you know, she's told me a lot. So, with all the names, she said Moolah's been here. And Harry,
Medusa.
Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah.
Bitter.
Captain Lou Albano. Bitter. Yes.
No, I said Bitter.
Oh, Bitter.
Yeah.
Bruno. Yes.
Bruno, the bitter man.
Do you know him very well, or?
Yeah, I told him off.
You told him off.
Yeah. I always have respect for vets, and I'm always the first one to go up, man. It's great to meet you. I'm at Milmascus. You hear bad stuff. It's like, no, it's such an honor to be with you. And he was nothing but cold to me. And when I was, Bruno was, oh, you're one of them crazy kids. I go, you know what? You can go bleep, 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 and walked away still.
You know, it's unfortunate about Bruno. He just feels if it's not 1975, it's just not wrestling, unfortunately.
You kids weren't as good as me. You stunk. You threw a punch. Big deal. You know? I took a bump.
I can understand his attitude, too. He was one of my favorites.
But he's overboard, Bitter. We got to wrap it up.
We got to wrap this up, man.
Wow.
Anyway, thank you all for joining us on the show. Hopefully, we're going to find Jim somewhere in limbo.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
And I'm Len Kaplan, along with Ed Woody, with our special guest, Balls Mahoney, saying so long and stay in the ring.